So I was reading an interesting report the other day. It was talking about how jean sales are up over 40% when compared to this time last year. Now, the fact that sales are up is great for the economy, great for manufacturers, but that wasn't the interesting part. No, the interesting part is that people were upgrading their wardrobe. And by that, I mean having to buy a bigger size. My point? When it comes to jeans, gents, make sure that you're dressing for the body you have, not the body you used to have or that you wish you had. When it comes to denim, there are certain styles, there are certain fits that work better for different ages and different body types. The goal of today's video, to help you find the perfect pair of jeans no matter what your age, no matter what your body type. Now, gents, understand what I'm providing in today's video is a guide. You can wear any type of jeans at any age with any body type, as long as you can fit into them. But are they going to look good? That's what I'm trying to help you with. I want to make sure that you avoid some of the most common mistakes so that you look good. That being said, let's lay down some ground rules. Number one, jeans are casual. No such thing as dress jeans. Now, you can dress jeans up. You can wear them with a sports jacket. You can wear them with a blazer. I've seen guys wear the Texas tux with a tuxedo top, cowboy hat, and boots. But that doesn't mean that the jeans themselves are a dress piece. Understand that jeans are always going to make an outfit a bit more casual. Rule number two, denim becomes even more casual when it's lighter in color, whenever it's distressed, whenever there are holes purposely put in there. I get it, they're fashion jeans. They are still ultra casual at this point. Rule number three, nail the right fit for your body type. So this body type thing matters a lot more actually than age. Like I said, you can be an older guy pulling off a younger style if you've got the body for it. But if you're a younger guy and you don't have the body for that younger style, it's not going to look good. You want to make sure that you're wearing jeans that complement your build. Next up, we've got the rules on age. They're a lot looser, and really it comes down to societal expectations. There are just certain expectations for older guys versus younger guys. Younger guys can experiment a lot more. That being said, if you've got the confidence, if you've got the clout, and if you just simply don't care and you're an older guy, yeah, have fun and wear anything. Now, this next rule should be obvious, but when you're tucking your shirt into your jeans, no matter what your age, you need to be wearing a belt. And what's the best belt company out there? Gents, this isn't really a question. The answer is Anson Belt and Buckle. Gents, these guys have been on a mission to eliminate the belt hole and introduce you to their micro-adjust belt system. Gents, if you haven't tried wearing one of their belts, you're missing out. These are the most comfortable belts you're ever gonna wear. Why? Because they adjust down to the 1/4 of an inch. With Anson, you don't have to worry about those bends, creases, cracks. No, your belt strap is gonna look great even after 100 uses. And on top of that, let's talk about interchangeability. If you've watched my videos, you know I love the interchangeable wardrobe. The idea that you can own a few pair of jeans, a few shirts, a few jackets, a few pair of shoes, and if they all work with each other, you got a lot of combinations there. The same thing with the Anson Belt and Buckle system, because guess what? All of their straps work with all of their buckles. So if you were to have 3 buckles, 3 straps, you don't have 3 different belts, you have 9 different combinations right there. Free shipping in the US, lifetime guarantee on functionality, and amazing customer service. Quick story about customer service. I know one of you guys a while back cut your belt too short and you said, hey, I'm gonna have to buy another strap. Dave, he found out about this. He just sent the guy a free strap, said, hey, no problem, it happens. That's the type of company I love supporting. Now, gents, the best deal on their website is the box set. Normally, this comes with 2 straps, 3 buckles, or 2 buckles and 3 straps. Well, guess what? Use that link down in the description of today's video. You got a special offer. They're going to throw in an extra strap or an extra buckle. This is an awesome deal, guys, and a great way to just rebuild your belt collection. I mean, you're looking at jeans, get the right belt, and they got so many great belts. If you haven't been over to their website, tons of selections on straps, tons of selections on buckles. If guys, go over to Anson Belt and Buckle, great company, proud to support them. And again, use that link to get the best deal on the web. The next rule is to understand your key measurements. So when you see jean sizes, in general, you see 2 measurements. You see the waist and you see the inseam. Now, if those were the only 2 measurements that mattered, buying jeans would be easy, but there's a lot of other things you got to pay attention to. First up, know that the waist measurement is not a true waist measurement. 32 does not mean a 32-inch waist. In fact, this really depends on the style, on the brand, but you'll see this, it's a vanity measurement. Basically, a 35-inch waist, whereas oftentimes a 32. Now, the inseam is a little bit more accurate, but it can be off off as much of an inch. What you want to pay attention to though is the outseam and the rise. These are really important because a lot of guys don't think about this, but the height of the jeans. You're going to see a lot of low rise jeans out there, great for younger men, a little bit harder to wear for older guys. And if you're an older guy, maybe you want to go for something that's going to be mid-waisted. Higher waisted jeans, not for everybody, but if you don't have much of a butt or, a little bit older, it could be the style that you're looking for. Last but certainly not least, we've got the thigh measurement. A lot of guys don't think about, but very important if you don't skip leg day, you like to spend time squatting, guess what? You want to make sure that you find a particular style that has more room right there in the thighs, in the buttocks area, so that you can fit into them and not tear them whenever you get down into that squat position. And let's not forget material. There are many different qualities of denim, but one thing that's pretty easy to spot is it cotton or is it going to be made from a synthetic material or be a blend? I think blends are great. 100% cotton are perfectly fine. You never want to go for anything that's 100% synthetic, but the blend. Why would you want to go for something like that? Because of the performance and the stretch. A lot of guys, especially if you like something that fits a little bit closer, you want that stretch so you don't get any tight spots. Why would you want to go with 100% cotton? A lot of guys like it historically. This is what jeans were made from. And if you're going to go for one of those higher end selvage type jeans, this is what you're shooting for. Now let's get into the specifics. So you're wondering, okay, I'm 21 years old, Antonio, I'm a student, and I want the best jeans for my body type. Well, here's the thing. If you're 21 years old and you're a student, you're the leanest that you're ever going to be in your life. So at this point, I'm not saying go skinny because that's going definitely out of fashion, but it is something that would work if you ever wanted to consider skinny. That being said, I think that slim cut jeans are going to be a great choice for you. Lots of great brands out there: Levi's, Uniqlo, H&M, and Old Navy if you're on a tight budget. Now, what about the loose jean trend? I'm not going to say go overboard here, but I am saying if you like that style, if you feel it's comfortable, if it works for you, and even if you've got a leaner, slimmer body build, go ahead and try it. This is the time. As a young man, as a student, you want to experiment at this point. You don't have to dress for your body shape at this age. You can dress more for your wants and simply just have fun to express yourself. When it comes to relaxed cuts, I know in Levi's, you're going to have 541s, 550s, 559s, and 569s. Now, I do think that every man needs to have a pair of well-fitted dark denim. So I'd say at least have that in your closet. But if you've got that base piece, don't be afraid again to experiment, maybe with going something that's a bit faded, going with something that's a little bit of a different color, going something distressed. You can have fun again at your age and at this point. And if you really are tight on funds, go look in thrift stores, look at consignment shops. Don't be afraid to grab used. It's one of the best ways, I think, to break free of trends, because used stuff, you find something that maybe was a trend 30, 40, 50 years ago, and you're able to get it for pennies on the dollar. Next up, we've got the 36-year-old bad boy. You're into motorcycles, you like your leather jackets, and you really are just going for that look. You absolutely love it. So in this case, I'm going to say stick with dark denim, black, dark blue, indigo. You could even maybe go for a dark green or gray. You're going for something here that's very functional, because you're going to be getting grease, you're going to be getting these things dirt, and you wear them for the function. You also want something that's going to be closer fitting so you can get on and off the motorcycle. Now, when it comes to a boot cut, you don't need to go for a full-on boot cut, but you can go for a boot cut. And I think it works because you're wearing oftentimes boots to protect your feet when you're on that bike. And again, you want something that's going to also be heavier, something that can provide some protection from the road rash. Next up, I've got the 61-year-old silver fox. In fact, you look a lot younger than your age. You take care of yourself. You're a bit of a collector. You love your cars, and you also mentor a number of younger guys around town as you build up your empire. At this point, I'm going to say have fun with your denim. As your hair starts to gray, as you start to age, your skin gets a little bit lighter. It doesn't always have the color it does. You can start to have fun with your denim. You can bring in colors like maybe a dark red. You can look at a brighter blue. There are just so many different options out there. Now, your testosterone levels have most likely dropped a bit from when you were in your 20s. Yes, I know, hard to believe, but it is something that will affect the shape of your muscles in your legs. So your buttocks may be a little bit smaller. This is something you want to stay away from, those low-waisted jeans. You want to go for something that's at least a mid-waist, maybe even a little bit higher waist, something that fits well on your body type. Now, when it comes to brands, Levi's is always a great option, but if you got a little bit more money to spend, look at AG, an amazing company for guys over the age of 50, and maybe even look over at APC. Now, what about for the 26-year-old gym shark? You know what I'm talking about. You spend your nights and your mornings in the gym. You're putting on the weight. You love investing in your body, and it shows. But those thighs, they make it very difficult to find a pair of jeans that actually fits you in the waist and in the leg area, because every time you put on a pair of jeans that fits you in the leg area, you've got like 5 inches of extra room right there in the waist. So what do you do about this? Well, you could take it to a tailor to get it adjusted, or you could find a style that fits your body type. So starting off with Levi's, you got 501s, you have 508s, and 541s oftentimes work very well for athletic men. Wrangler makes an advanced comfort fit you should check out. If you're over at Old Navy, check out their athletic fit jeans. Mid-tier, we've got Lucky Brand 410 Athletics. Also check out their 363 Vintage Straights. Next up, we've got the 41-year-old professional man. You want to be able to dress those jeans up. You want something you can wear into the office at the same time that you can leave the jacket at home and you can just simply go out with your kids on the weekend. The key with your jeans here is going to be simplicity. You want to go with that dark blue, that indigo. You could also go with black, but in order for it to work with a number of things in your wardrobe, you want to keep it simple. You want to keep it plain. You want to make sure you don't go for anything outlandish. When it comes to the fit, just don't go with extremes. Don't go with a really super relaxed fit. Don't go with a tight, skinny fit. Instead, slim fit, if that works for your body profile. If you're a little bit heavier, putting on a little bit of weight, maybe go for that looser fit 559s on Levi's, or you could go right over to the straight cut, which I think is great, especially if you got maybe 10 to 15 pounds extra around the midsection. The straight cut is still going to look good. That being said, I still lean towards tapered cuts, and the reason being is it's going to work with shoes, dress shoes in particular, but even sneakers. Again, the straight cuts, the looser cuts, they can work with that, but I just feel it's a little bit too much excess material down at the bottom. But if you wear boots, if you've got shoes a little bit larger and you decide to dress them up that way, it can work. Now, as mentioned, Levi's makes a wide variety of those styles, but if you want something a little bit more affordable, check out Lee. I think Wrangler is going to be a little bit too casual, but you can find some options over there. Banana Republic actually has some pretty good jeans, and I like that they have a little bit of stretch on them as well. Gap, going to be a little bit more affordable, not as great a quality, but they'll get the job done. Uniqlo seems to always do things right, and if you've got a store next to you, it's worth checking them out. And if you've got a bit of a budget, check out APC, AG, or Naked and Famous. All right, guys, so what video to watch next? How about dress shoes and jeans? How to pair them, how to style them, how to make it work. In this video, I cover exactly how, so that you don't go out there and make some style. Yeah, you don't want to make the style mistakes. Guys, check out this video. I make it simple for you. Yeah, click on it. Boom, right there. Yeah, go check it out.